Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk movies, television, and wrestling. I'm, of course, Lemon himself, Zeke Lemon, and this is my review for Friday Night SmackDown. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way. Share and leave a like. Comment below, let me know your thoughts on Friday Night SmackDown. And, of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into it, shall we? So, yeah, first SmackDown post-Royal Rumble. And our first SmackDown review in quite some time, since the past 2 weeks. There have been a PLE before, and we usually don't cover those since the viewership is typically not there for those. But yeah, these 3-hour SmackDowns, I feel like they have executed a lot better than they have 12 months prior. A year before, we were really struggling within it. Now, I will say, overall, the constant downfall of the 3-hour SmackDowns, because overall, I think the shows have been good. This show, I think, was also good as well. I would have liked this one to be great. I don't know if it's just because, post Rumble, and now you got to take the Raw and the SmackDown like two different entities, since, there is a brand split, technically. But they're being more hard on it now anyway, which is odd during the WrestleMania season. But anyway, rant over. But, you want Raw ended really, really strong, really great. That, WrestleMania is like coming this way. And then here on SmackDown, I never really got that. It just felt like par for the course, which is there's nothing wrong as long as the destination, which is WrestleMania, is good. Then everything that was happening prior is going to be just fine. But yeah, it never hits that second gear, and I think due to the 3 hours, at some point within the show, you just feel it. You know what I mean? I can't really recall at what point did I start to feel the runtime. I want to say, I don't think it was the Liv Morgan segment. Maybe it was the segment right before that. Or was that Kit Wilson? But there was some point in between there, like when it's like immediately past 9. Like I checked my phone and it was 9:05 my time. I'm on the central time zone. And at 9:05, I was like, whew, yeah, we've been here for a good minute. And I think as long as they learn to tweak that a little bit, I honestly think there's going to be a lot of benefit to these 3-hour SmackDowns. Now, as for the matches themselves, I would like to see them go a little bit longer. And again, overall, they were fine. Personally, to me, my favorite match/segment of the night was the Opa Femi and Kit Wilson stuff. I mean, Kit Wilson, I thought it was just the music that was over. Generally, like me and a friend legit had this debate because we were debating over, should we book out a year in advance? And he was like, no, we shouldn't because, look at Kit Wilson. He's hot right now. We should honestly start considering to put the U.S. title on him right now. And I'm just like, I don't know. I mean, is it really him or is it really the music? He goes, you might have a point there. But boy, when that boy started talking, and he was talking about like that whole 30-man Rumble, toxic, and the crowd's going, toxic! Like they're chanting with them. And, they loved to boo him in a lot of ways. I heard someone say, oh, they need to turn him face. I don't think they need to turn him face. I think if they just keep him like this, I think, again, it's just going to be one of those things where, you love to hate him in that kind of environment. Because as he was going, he was flexing the thing, and he was doing something when he was doing the hip thing. And I was like, I'm not sure if this is PG. And everyone started standing up and looking over to the rampway. And because when the lights go out and you see the green and the people cheer because they know it's Oba comes out, he's doing the walk. And I don't know if he did this on Monday, but as he's walking over to fight Kit, he's going, oh, I'm going to show you toxic, the way he's talking shit as he's going up to the ramp. It's great. We have really something here with Oba Femi. I don't know if we necessarily needed Oba. I know we're doing the free agent storyline. And the only reason I say that, look, again, overall best segment. The whole match, the squashiness, it was great business for Oba Femi. There was no Powerhouse Hobbs on this show, though. Or, Royce Keys, as he is going to go by in WWE. And, you make your debut at the Royal Rumble, we should strike while the iron's hot a little bit, especially since SmackDown was going to be his home. Raw, it was fine because then you had SmackDown. Now he's not on SmackDown. I do think that was a missed opportunity. Oba could have came out on next week's SmackDown. I think, if anything, this probably should have been in Royce Keys' opportunity to do so, because I just don't know where else we could have fit him in there. Now, I hope he is on next week's SmackDown, or hell, even on this episode of Raw. Again, it's just reported that he's going to be on SmackDown. So who really knows, right? But usually if it's reported, that is usually where it's going to go. But yeah, that's my only criticism when it comes to that. As for the other matches, again, they were fine. I will say very telegraphed, though. Like, there was nothing to really get you to go up from your seat, right? So, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus Julia and Kiana James. We all knew Rhea Ripley and Io Sky were going to win. So, you're kind of just sitting there and waiting until there was a finish. Didn't really like that Julia got pinned, just because she is the United States Champion. We need to do as much work as possible, which is why my prediction for WrestleMania is Julia versus Tiffany Stratton for that U.S. title, because then Tiffany can then elevate that title. No disrespect to Julia. I love Julia. It's just not working, right? And especially with her getting pinned, we just got to do what we got to do to make that title mean something in some way, shape, or form. And I think Tiffany Stratton might be the answer for that. Unless Tiffany Stratton wins the Chamber, which I'm really not into. Especially since we're doing the Jordynne Grace versus Jade Cargill match next week now. That makes it seem like she's not going to be in the Chamber. Who else is there for Jade? I mean, I've had the prediction of Rhea Ripley winning it, and I honestly wouldn't mind Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill. I honestly think you make that match, it's going to rival the Cody, Drew, and Jacob match for a night one main event. Like Jay going around, I'm that bitch, and then Rhea's going, well, now you're facing the bitch, because she is. But then where does that leave Io Sky? There's just a lot of question marks heading into the Elimination Chamber, which is a good thing, but also could be a bad thing depending on the answer that we do get when we get to the Elimination Chamber. But yeah, Julia taking the pin. Again, we need to rehab that. Tiffany versus Chelsea versus Lash. Okay, well, they're not going to pin Lash. They obviously want to make her strong because they keep showing the 5 eliminations. And, they were just loving her throughout the whole thing. I actually didn't mind the match whatsoever. I kind of liked how Alba Fire and Nia Jax kept getting involved. I also like that we did give Chelsea an out. She would have won because she hit that coast to coast. But then Nia pulled her out of the ring. But it was very telegraphed. Well, Lash is there, just to make up the numbers and to make sure that she stays strong to get her this experience with these women. Tiffany's clearly winning, and she's going to pin Chelsea Green. Sure enough, that's exactly the route that we went. The other Chamber qualifier, Alistair versus Solo versus Randy. Well, Alistair can't get pinned because he just lost a big program. And now we might be teasing it's going to be Alistair versus Randy at WrestleMania. I mean, again, we have 10 weeks to really build it up, but right now that doesn't really fully interest me. The one that interests me the most was Trick versus Randy, which we could still do because Trick was out there to watch and scout the match. So that one's fine. If we do that one, Alistair just take me a little bit to really get fully invested into it. But same format, right? Alistair can't get pinned. He just lost a big program. Randy's obviously going to the Chamber, so he's going to win, so he's going to pin Solo Sikoa. Sure enough, that's exactly what happened. And, the Liv Morgan and Raquel versus Jade and Jordynne Grace match was interesting. I don't know why Jade didn't just walk out. I feel like that fits her character more. Because if we're trying to tell the story of she doesn't defend her title and she doesn't really fight, then when Nick Aldis puts her into a match and, she goes on the apron, no, you start. And then Ad's like, oh, you need help? Yeah, come tag me. Bitch, I ain't helping you. And jumping off the ramp and then walking out. I feel like that would have served the story a little bit more. And then Jordan's putting up this great performance, still loses, gets to the back. Nick Aldis goes, that was a fun stint that you pulled there, Jade. Well, now your punishment is you're going to face Jordynne next week and the title is going to be on the line. I feel like that was a much easier route to go to. As for the segment itself, it was fun. I don't like how Liv addressed the elephant in the room. I feel like Raquel should have grabbed the mic and be like, no, I need to talk to you about something. Because at first it seemed like Raquel was going to dismiss it. No, Raquel needs to be pissed off. I wasn't a huge fan of her smiling while she was out there. Now, she could be playing coy. Now, we'll see what happens on Monday. I think Monday is when Liv does make the decision that she will be facing Stephanie Becker at WrestleMania, just so we can get it completely clear. Let's go ahead and just, hey, Elimination Chamber is going to be the one who faces Jade Cargill. And then we can start theorizing a little bit more there. But, the whole segment overall was fine. Once Jade and Jordynne got in, I actually really liked the shut up bitch line. Just so, yeah, they're so different, but yet they have the exact same responses to things. I don't know. To me, it got a kick out of it. But then the tag match happened. I was like, everything that we did, like they were tagging each other. I was like, I don't know if they would necessarily be doing that, especially with Raquel. I feel like Raquel would have some resentment tagging with Liv here. It just felt like something to hash out the time, you know what I mean? And of course, I was just sitting there going, well, Jordan just got caught up. Jade is the champion. Liv just won the Rumble. Raquel just lost on Monday, so I know who's getting pinned. It's just a matter of which one of these two ladies is going to pin Raquel. And sure enough, it was Jordynne Grace. So yeah, but the matches, again, none of them were bad. It was just very telegraphed. Miz versus Carmelo Hayes, also a very good match too. Once it was no title, there was a little bit of jeopardy there. I'm not gonna lie to you. Once they're like, oh, no title, then I thought Miz would win, and so therefore, then we get to the chamber, we do have the actual title matches. That's the other thing that kind of bugs me, that we're doing Jordan versus Lash at the chamber. We're doing Rhea and Io versus Lash and Nia on SmackDown. We are doing Miz and Carmelo non-title. Carmelo beat Miz, and you know that's it. It's over. We still have 3 other matches, that at least 3, because, you know, Triple H like his 5-match cards that we have to fill up. We assume one of them is going to be Finn Balor versus CM Punk for the World Heavyweight title. What the hell are the other 2 going to be? I guess there's El Grande Americano versus El Grande Americano. So that's 4. Then do you give Gunther one? I mean, I guess we did make the Rumble a little SmackDown heavy, so did we make the Elimination Chamber a little bit more Raw heavy when it comes to the non-stipulation matches? I don't know. It's interesting. It's very interesting to see, to say the least. Now, as for the main storyline that was going out, Drew McIntyre trying to cut a promo, but he can't because he keeps getting jumped. I kind of liked it. I like the ongoing bit. Cody got a mic and he got a chance to talk. I don't know what he meant by why was the first thing out of your mouth me. I don't know if he was talking about Punk and Roman directly, because I don't recall them bringing up Cody whatsoever. Now, he did look at the camera. I rewatched his promo because, God, the Raheem line just makes me laugh. That was so funny. It really cracked me up. But he's looking at the camera when he's going, why is the first thing out of your mouth me? So I guess he's talking to us, the audience, like, oh, Roman and Punk have this great segment, but yet you can't stop talking about me because y'all all truly know that I'm the man. And then, you know, Drew tries to come out again, but this time it's Jacob who beats him up. He goes out, and then he finally gets to do his promo on the third one. I do like how this main event warfare is happening, where like Drew's going around going, look, this title is the main title. Bruno Sammartino, Ricky Steamboat, Ric Flair, like all these different people, not Dusty Rhodes, which I thought was very, very funny. You're just the secondary title, so therefore you are the secondary show. And everyone back there, y'all need to step up, because the way that they're talking about is, well, I'm going to run right over through you. I really did like that. And, you know, if we keep this going, then yeah, that brand warfare could be coming back pretty soon. Where I do feel like, oh, these are 2 different entities. Oh, these two shows do hate each other. Where it's like, yeah, I don't mess with this dude, but don't come at my family. You know, it's one of those things where, like, if anyone's going to take that bitch down, it's going to be me. Where, you know, Drew's taking shots at Cody. He's taking shots at Jacob. But don't say my show's the Beast show. My show's the #1 show. I have the title. We are the main stars here. Y'all are secondary. Y'all get out of here. And Roman and Punk then retaliate on that on Raw. Again, I think it's going to be an interesting thing to say the least. But yeah, again, overall, this episode of SmackDown, it was fine. It never hit that second gear. It was good, not great. But, you know, post-Rumble, you would kind of like to see great. You know what I mean? But, again, it was par for the course. We'll see how it goes through. These chamber qualifying matches are interesting, though. Like Jacob, Cody, and Sammy. Who gets left out there? You would assume Sammy's there to take the pin. Do you leave Cody out? Because I am fully locked in that we are doing the triple threat. So does Jacob win the chamber? Which, that could be pretty cool. He could use that rub. And I honestly think Jacob should win the title when it gets to WrestleMania. So who deserves the chamber win more? I don't think we've seen Cody in the chamber ever. Pre-AEW Cody or post-AEW Cody when he returned at 38. I don't think he's ever been in the Elimination Chamber. So that could be really fun to see too. And again, for the women, now if Jordynne Grace is already facing Jade Cargill, who's going to win the chamber? I really don't care to see Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill round 5 at WrestleMania, especially with what they've done before. It It just doesn't excite me. Does Bianca Belair able to come back? Are we going to split up Rhea Ripley and Io Sky? Is Rhea Ripley going to win the chamber? And then if that's the case, what do we do with the tag titles? Is Rhea Ripley going to pull off double duty? I don't know. Like, there's a lot of things that are just really up in the air, which is exciting, but also leaves me a little, like, paranoid in some ways. But yeah, let me know y'all thoughts of SmackDown down in the comment section. Leave a like if you made this far in the review. I do greatly appreciate it. And hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. And until next time, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.